Good morning, horrible human beings. Life, afterlife episode. So for anybody who paying attention, you just see the little joints that pop up on your feed that had a Dirtbag Deli sticker, and then the camera will pan out to. I'm talking about a graveyard, but I've been doing it all week. I've been shooting a story that I wanted to make into a short film. So I said, you know what, why don't I make it like a short form serialized version, like how they used to tell stories back in the day on the radio, for 5-10 minutes a piece. So this story is a story about the life after life. When the character dies, what happens. So in doing that, every day I was trying to find I said I can promote it by shooting a graveyard and then overlaying music, different eerie music over top of it to create anticipation for the next day's episode. So, and it's the crazy thing, imagine all the variables that have to line up for this to happen. So I pick a cemetery, I Google it, not even the first one that come up, I think it was like the third or the fourth. I go to the cemetery, I got the camera down, and I'm trying to get 3 minutes worth of footage. So, I want to say maybe it's 200 graves, upwards of 200. So I'm just walking around aimlessly because it's just important to get the graves in the shot. And if you ever can go back on your reel, you'll be able to see, you can tell the days that I'm doing that because it happened this week. But I'm walking with a random grave in any random pattern. I'm not even looking at the graves. I'm just looking at the area that I'm moving my phone in. And so my knee almost hit a grave. I looked down and I'm randomly, aimlessly walking. My knee hit a grave, and I look, and it says LAWTON. And I said, "Damn, that reminds me of a guy I knew." And I really look at the gravestone, and it says Gregory Lucius LAWTON. And I realized I knew Gregory Lucius LAWTON. Randall, I knew him more than 20 years ago, before the towers came down. He was a real good dude I met. I had just moved over to East Baltimore for the first time, and him and his man they was MCs. We all was rapping. They had dropped out of Morgan, and so they was hustling weed at the time. And so we met. I met another good guy, my good brother from Philly, Lou Bolin, who I'm still in touch with to this day, and a couple other good brothers, Doughboy, who he'll get a story or episode when the day come. But you know how life goes, you'll meet somebody. We was tight all the time. The one thing that I remember is G's sister, Denise LAWTON. I'm not sure if she's still acting, but she was an actor in Tyler Perry's. She was an actor in Tyler Perry shows, and she had been in the Smooth magazine at the time. But G and her ain't had the tightest relationship. So anyway, G was a cool dude. He ended up he had a few kids in Baltimore. I'll never forget the day when we were all sitting in front of the building, and the knockers had came up, but one person had saw the knockers coming, so they knew, in 7 seconds they are about to come. Maybe it's 6 of us out there. I happened to be really, really sick that day, diarrhea sick. So I actually get up to go upstairs because I got sick diarrhea, and I do that 3 seconds before. Boom, 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 boom. You hear everything. You hear Big Doughboy haul his big ass and get away. You got to remember, G is about Little Kim size. He's little G. He's Little Kim size. But they ended up getting G, and I can't remember what he was dirty with, but I remember he went down to Bookings that day, and he was furious and incensed that he was down Bookings. Matter of fact, and you know what? G and his man T was from the DC area, so they somewhere out in PG. I wasn't familiar with it, but that man, he was furious about being in jail. Like he turned that shit into civil rights. He was so mad about it. But we laughed about it after that. I'll never forget, the police came upstairs, was like, "Oh man, he tossed it in there." I said, "Go in there." I'm shitting live in the toilet. Go in there and look if you want to get it. That's all right. They was really mad that I was shitting, but so we make it out. G got locked up. I said, G, you only gonna listen, boy. You can get out on your own recon. But G had another warrant for something dumb, so ended up being in that bitch for like maybe a month. We came home. So that was just one little vignette with G. So as time does and time passed, I ended up meeting my girlfriend, and then we moved to Park Heights, and so I'm away, and life goes on. People getting older. I think maybe we all were 20, around 19 or 20. I know I couldn't have been 21 yet. So I'm 19 and 20, and time passes, and I can remember years past now, maybe 8, 9, 10 years from, we're talking about before the towers passed, so let's say 2002. Anyway, come to find out, G moved back around to wherever he was out in the Maryland area, and ended up, he was a security guard, he was taking care of his kids, Gregory Lucius LAWTON. And I can't remember, I had to Google the story, because I hadn't thought of G in years, but couldn't find out they killed him in front of his building. I want to say they killed him in front of his kids, but I'm not sure if that's what happened. But they had killed him, and I don't know if somebody told me through Facebook or whatever, but it wasn't a family member, and it wasn't his friend T. Luke. I found out somewhere else. So I had always known that. But fast forward now, 25 years later, or however long it's been, and I'm shooting I don't know what you want to call it, shooting a promo for Life After Life about a character that's dead, and I bumped right into a guy that I had nowhere knowing where that he was buried there, or that he was there, and I hadn't thought about G in a long time. But I wonder now, was G thinking about me when my car pulled up and he pulled it there? And how ironic could it be that the story that I'm attempting to tell, that this would happen? I actually got in touch with the homeboy Lou from Philly. He living down Florida now, and I told him all the circumstances, and he was like, man, that wasn't no accident, you was on a wavelength. So you know, it made me feel like at some point this week I'm gonna go to G grave and put some flowers on there. But I always wonder, G and me used to be so creative, especially in the MCing days. I always wonder, was that G way of saying, yeah, brother, I like your idea. It's a pretty good idea. And so today's episode, Horrible Human Beings, the Life After Life episode, R.I.P. and salute Gregory Lucius LAWTON. We miss you, G. Be safe.